So this game, you have teleport, ignite, ash, which is not great, but it's also not the end of the world. So last game, I've watched this replay a couple of times. Last game, you went right up here with your team. Even if your team doesn't go there, you should just go there. And then, you know, if you're alone and somebody shows up here, you just walk away. If one guy comes in and you have help, you can attack him, you do whatever. But, I mean, just stay up here until, you know, until you need to. If something happens, if they're like fighting up here, obviously go help or whatever. But
Minions have spawned.
And then you guys go back to lane. You see they're not going to invade. I assume that flash was unintentional. So what this guy's doing is he's sitting back here so that the enemies don't see him come to lane before he needs to farm. This makes the other guys, they'll either think the jungler did red, or they'll at least look at the minimap. And in this situation, if I'm these guys, before Ashe shows up, I see a Lowy up here, so my assumption would be that Yi was right here. I'm not afraid of Yi ganking early, but if you had a different jungler, maybe I'm gonna play back if it's like a Jarvan or something until I see him on the map again. Here, I will rewind. Here, you come right up in her face, and she's gonna Q you every time you get this close. And once she has charm, she's gonna charm you every time you get this close. And he auto attacks you, and now you're at half health, and you have to use potions, and so kind of like the last game, I mentioned it. You throw out this Q and you hit him, and that's fine. You get damage on him, okay, that's good. But your ADC can't do anything. He just used his W to farm, and you don't have anything else that you can do to this guy. If you walk up and auto attack him, Tristana's gonna auto attack you, and this guy's gonna auto attack you, and the minions will hit you, and you'll lose a bunch of health. So you hit him, and that's fine, that's good, but now you have no threat for the next 10 seconds. And so you have to stand back here, because there's nothing you can do even if you step up. See, that one is much better. You don't get anything out of it, but as soon as you get this guy can just W and get extra damage, and like, so that, right, there's value in this more than just making the guy, so, you know, not be able to move. And then he gets chunked, which, whatever, you can't make him do or not do anything. And now you have level 2. You're gonna drop your pool to get gold all the time. Again, if you hit it, that's good, I guess, that you CC the guy and you get damage. But here's exactly why you don't do, you know, a situation where you kind of would come out on top if you didn't throw the Q back up here. This guy, you throw the Q, and then this guy just walks into the bush, comes out, and Qs, you know, gets you both with the orb. If he, you know, if you have Q here and he walks out when you were down here, I'll rewind it. So you're gonna throw the Q out here, you miss. It doesn't really matter if you hit it anyway. He comes in here, he's never gonna do that if you have Q right here, right? I mean, maybe he walks in and walks back, but if you have Q, you know he's not gonna step in here, like up to this part of the bush. But instead, he steps out, and look how aggressive he's being. His ADC is way back here. You know, he's got one minion here. Ashe can W him. You guys can both auto attack him, but he doesn't care because you don't have Q. You have no kill pressure here. And so he just walks up and gets some damage, and you know, I don't know if it was worth for him or not, but you know, you walk up and try to get a little bit back, but you already lost the trade. Here, you step up into the minions, and like I said before, every chance that Ahri has to combo you, she's going to take advantage of. And now this guy's going to jump on you, which is exactly what he should do. And I think he barely survived or something. He just walks away for whatever reason. Oh, because he sees your Q up. Or, you know, he's threatened by this, the possibility. I'm sure he's not counting your cooldowns or anything. But you see how, in that situation, having your Q there, I think it had just come off. Yeah, having your Q here, they know you have it because you haven't thrown it out in a minute. She's afraid. As she jumps on you, and as soon as she sees she's not, it's gonna take at least two more autos to kill you. She runs back because you could Q her. You could have Q'd her right here, and then don't think you kill her because she has heal, but she heals here right as soon as you throw out that. She's terrified, so she heals because she thinks she's gonna take a ton of damage. So your Q saved you a death here, right? Having your Q not on cooldown. Then you heal up with potions and walk back into the lane. You can W whatever you want. It's low impact. You don't lose anything by not having it. Here, I think you did this in the last game too, where you kind of walk up to Q the guy and get close, and that's good, that's fine. But you have to expect that this guy's gonna combo you too, and be ready to step to the side, or kind of bait it out or something. Then you're getting that, you don't have a chance. I guess you're just waiting for gold here. I don't know. It looks like you could have bought, I don't know. Again, if you're typing, just don't do that. It's not ever worth it. That's a good board. I know you have, you're going against an Evelyn jungle this game, and so you know, you're not gonna catch her with these wards. But other people can roam too. Your lane can roam when they push up. If they walk up here, you see that instead, right? And then you think to yourself, okay, maybe they went to dragon, maybe they're going to mid. I'll ping so that mid doesn't flame me. What you do here is fine. When you hit these ones that are useless, just back off, right? You hit him, you let him know that you're a threat in the game, you're flexing your muscles, whatever. You know, don't do anything stupid and try to get on him. This is another situation where you probably, I don't know if you save yourself here if you have Q, but if you don't throw it, right, like this is pretty low percentage. They're just gonna run over here. Even if you hit him up here, it's too many minions in the way, and Ashe can't run up there. So if you save Q here, they run on you. She comes out of the bush. You know, you Q Ari, you just throw one out this way, or you throw one on her. I'd probably send it out this way because they have the crowd control. But, you know, you didn't have it, so you die again there. It doesn't really matter that she's this ahead. I mean, you knew, I think when you enter the game with teleport, ignite, dash, you probably don't expect to win. So here you guys come back to lane. You died and come back to lane. Ari was not dead, so she's gonna be back to lane as soon as Trist is. You should, when you don't see her in lane and you don't have any vision in jungle up here, you should assume that she's here, or at least assume that she's walking down the lane. And then, you know, you just get chunked and that sucks. You barely end up getting out. It sounds dramatic, but when you don't have vision, like right here, as soon as she walks into, you know, into this fog of war, and I don't know if Ari goes up there too, but if she does, then you should assume that she's in the nearest place that you don't have vision, and you should play like that. So she walks out of vision right here. You're safe here because you have vision, and you have vision here. I mean, obviously she didn't walk out of vision and end up over here, but you should assume that she's sitting right here in this bush, which would stop you from going on Trist. You don't do that anyway, but you know, in the same situation over here, you should assume that without vision here, Ari is not just sitting in base or somewhere else on the map. They clear this ward, so they walk out of vision and they clear this ward, and now you have no vision. You should assume that they are sitting right there. You know, luckily she walks up and they're not, but what's to stop them from doing that and just getting a kill there?
The earth reflects your torment.
So your ADC hit 6 and is trying to go on them here. You do the right thing. I don't know if you're trying to get her, or if you just couldn't pick a target, or maybe you just missed, or I don't know. But, you know, you'll hit this with practice. If you hit her, she's dead. I think she ends up flashing and getting away with a couple hundred health, but yeah. So if you hit her, she's dead, and it'll take practice to get there. But that's not a mental big picture error. So here you can assume that they backed because they had such low health, but yeah, I'd be pretty scared to step up there when they have Eve, Evelyn. And then you back, and buy Eye of the Watchers. So generally, I don't buy this. Sometimes I don't even buy it until after I have other items. If you just get like the first upgrade, that gives you the extra gold. You get charges once you finish, once you get 500 gold earned. And then buying this just gives you 1 extra charge and some extra health and some ability power. I mean, it's gold efficient, but it's not, I don't know. Instead of buying this, I don't know how much gold you have. Instead of buying this, I would have bought boots, or control wards, or you know, armor, or magic resist. A lot of different things you could have bought. Also, once you're close, like once you're close to having enough gold earned for the warding charges, you should trade this out for a red trinket, the Oracle Lens, or whatever it's called now. Yeah, like right here, when you get your thing, now you have wards. You don't need this yellow trinket.
I am your truth.
Here, if you hit that, she's probably dead. Maybe this guy steps up, and you W, and you get a bunch of damage. And again, missing stuff is not an issue. You'll get better at that. And another reason you should ward, even when you're playing in Evelyn, is because you would have been able to clear these. Like if you warded, but when they had that in there, or the control ward here, you could clear these and you could just run into lane, and he wouldn't have to clear those before going in. They wouldn't be able to see him. Again, you don't really know where Ari is here, but you have vision in river. You know she's not in this bush. You can step up here, and you do eventually, right? So as soon as you step up here, she walks out. You can do that as soon as the wave is off the tower, and you know, deny those couple of minions. You're gonna go try to help this guy, both you and Ash. Just let him die every time. There's no reason. You're never gonna get this. They're gonna get the kill. You know, Ari's gonna come down. You never get this. This guy's CC the entire time. Maybe if you have flash there, you get out, but if you used it to get over here, it's not worth it. It would have just been a waste. The whole situation. When people do stupid stuff, just let them die. And that's part of getting better at the game too. Like, I can try to tell you what I would do and what I think the right play is, but you have to, like in this situation, you have to play this situation, and then, you know, after you see this, the next time somebody tries to tower dive 1v2, you should think twice before doing that. I mean, like, you'll only get better through having these experiences. So here, he dies. I don't know if you meant to like walk into this guy and try to do anything here, but he charms you, so you know that's the point where you kind of get screwed. And so then you try to walk away, you have to flash because you're about to get charmed again. And now there's like this dance. You don't know that they're here. I mean, you obviously can assume that because you have the ward here. You see them walk over that way. You see Evelyn, the wave moves by, Trish shows. As soon as Trish shows, you should just walk up here and try to clear this wave so that if they want to dive you, they have to eat tower shots before they even get to you. Because that's way scarier than when the minion is here, right? If they have to draw tower aggro just to get to you, you can Q them, and then they die, right? They're queued for, I think it's 3 seconds at this point, 2.5 seconds. You know, that's probably 3 tower shots by the time it's all said and done, you hit them with that, you hit them with your W, and you know they don't have a chance. So if you clear this, I don't know if you have enough damage to clear the whole wave, but if you do, they can't dive you. You know, you do a pretty decent job dodging stuff here, but they just miss it. Whatever whatever way you want to look at it. You shield yourself. You do what you can here, but again, they don't draw tower aggro until this point. I think that was the first tower shot on the champion. Yeah, nobody's actually hit you yet. So nobody's taking tower aggro. This guy misses. Nobody's getting hit by tower. This guy comes in and draws a tower shot, right? And so that means these guys have the next, I don't know how long it takes tower to like refocus on a retarget. There we go. Now is the first time that you've gotten help from tower, and you're already dead. So. That's unfortunate, but if you, after this guy dies up here, after Ash died, if you just, walk down here to tower, they're not gonna dive you. It's because you walked up here and got charmed, and they got damage on you beforehand. And now you should be walking through your jungle and warding that, and using red trinket. What you do here is fine. They show up and you Q them. You just let your team do the work, which is what you should always be doing. Just letting your team do the work. Here, you hit this guy, you just walk away. That's what you're supposed to do. All your power in this champion is in your Q and in your shield. Well, mostly. Your ult is really good for anti-diving stuff, but here, so you see Nasus kind of peek over here. You see Nasus through here for a split second, right there. He's always just gonna wait until he's got a good chance to come around and get you guys, which happens to be immediately.
Let me show you what it
like
is
right after they get the kill on the Lowy, and Evelyn's walking up, and now Nasus shows up, and he's just gonna go raid boss on him. As soon as you saw him here, you needed to Q him, you need to throw a ward over here so you could see if he was going back. Once Evelyn kind of moved up and Nasus was there, you could have ulted. I think at that point it was probably too late anyway. Yeah, so you need to preemptively stop this play when you see Nasus come out this way. You need to Q or ward or whatever it is you're going to do.
Shut down. Shut down.
So this is kind of an interesting one. He barely dies, so I mean you do make a difference here with the pool, and you don't die. But you also don't have any potions, and you take all this damage, so you don't end up having to back. I mean, ultimately, it's not that bad of a play, but I think it's another situation where if you just let your team do it, you're better off. I mean, they don't get the kill there, but the guy was so shields. When you're walking through jungle like this, throw down a ward somewhere. See this guy coming, you have your Q, you know he's just gonna walk straight down here. And if you throw your Q right along here, he has to step back, like up towards his base to dodge it. So you have everything to gain by throwing it right, you know, right in this pathway right here to catch him. You shield your guy, which is what you should do in that situation. And now you guys have stuck around too long. Even right now, you should just pretend these guys are dead. You don't have shield, you don't have Q. There's nothing you can do, even if he's dead. So, just walk away and let him die. Remember, you have no control over the game while you're dead. Some boards around here. There's one up there, but you can use one over here. Could have put one over here. Here, you see this guy kind of dancing over here. I mean, he's probably not gonna be there alone. He's not just gonna like show and then stay there alone. And he keeps coming like back in and out. And now you know Evelyn's there, so you just kind of walk back to your team. And you see Veigar back up here. You know Evelyn is here, and now you know Ahri is here. So you get stunned, but it's a dangerous move to kind of step into this edge. Ultimate man mode
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
saves everything. At this point, you should just leave. Not gonna kill these guys, and even if you kill this guy, it's nothing to gain from it. You're not gonna. This guy's not gonna stop you from doing anything with 200 health, right? If you guys want to do Baron, you can go to Baron. If you guys want to push, if your team wants to push, you can come. You know, Yi and Ashe can come push, and this guy's not going to stop anybody with 200 health. So even if you kill him, you don't gain anything. They just end up killing you.
Shut down.
Going to help your guys here. As soon as they die, just stop going up there.
Shut down.
I assume you kind of just clicked up here and didn't mean to, you know, walk right by this guy in the bush. So I assume this was a mistake on your part, and if you meant to do this, if you meant to just walk into the bush, you should probably just help this guy. You die there because you make just a silly mental mistake. Go down some wards while you're running around the jungle. He's going super crazy.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So now here, you kind of do a lot of walking around and not getting anything done. And you're about to lose another turret, and I think you end up losing inhib. If I'm you, you have two things that you can do. You can come down here and ward and back, or you can just walk back here and back. But you're not gonna be able to like push it into tower. You don't have any wards, so you're kind of screwed as far as getting things like pushed up to them. You can't counter pressure. You can't pressure, while they're pressuring. So you have to get out. You either have to leave or ward, and now is not the time to ward because they're pushing into your base. So if I'm you, I'm probably gonna walk this way into this bush and ward up here along the way. Like when I'm like right here, I'll just throw a ward over in that bush. I'll come down here and back so that you can help them here. And you don't do that, so you come up here and you're trying to fight, but even if you get both of them, then then you can start pressuring because 2 are dead and 2 are pushing into your base. But by that time, they're gonna have pushed this tower down. They'll be on the inhib. You'll be fighting a losing battle here, and then you're gonna just die because of crowd control. Here you just kind of have another mental lapse. I think you at this point you've been pretty frustrated with the game. You don't see anybody else, but you don't have any wards, and Evelyn can be like this close to you without being seen. I don't know what the actual radius is, but
Let me show you what
you
it
see
is.
this come out, and at this point I think you know you're dead because you already got charmed. Now they're just gonna jump on you. Triss comes out of nowhere. It's okay to step up and try to like hit this guy if you have vision. If you have vision here and you have vision here, but without vision, you should assume that people are around here, that people are somewhere close enough to help this guy out. And that's why vision is important. Like that's why you should have a really high vision score every game, because you can make that play, right? If you catch this guy, that's big for your team. They miss out on a guy that has hard CC and a fairly good amount of damage as far as supports go. So there's value to be gained here, and you can gain it if you just throw down wards on this side or up here so that you can, most people don't just sit in the bush, they're kind of walking around. But that doesn't happen. Getting crushed here. I think Alawi goes man mode again. Here you do pretty good, right? You're just helping her out. You don't do anything super impactful, but that's okay, right? She takes care of handling. She does the impact there. Here, there's nothing for you guys to get up the lane. Nothing that these guys can't do first. Like they have to push the wave before you can do anything. I would have come through through river and warded down by dragon, and then come up here and throw down some wards in the jungle. I think you have another mental sort of lapse here if you accidentally walk into that guy. And you panic and flash, and once you're already in his face, you didn't have a chance. I don't know why I'm watching that. Speed past this part. Clear, help him clear, that's good. Again, you see there's gonna be a fight here. You're expecting to fight. Throw a ward over here. Or come up here and throw a ward over here. Right, you have this side warded. Ideally this guy would put one in this little brush. And now you're coming up to team fight. This guy put a ward over here, thankfully. I'm not entirely sure how many people are here, but it's probably everybody. Once you come up past like this little ridge is when you lose control of this situation, right? First of all, you're heading in before the tank. I mean, she's got a lot of carry items, but she's your guys' tank, pretty much. You're walking in front of the tank. Your fed guy is like way back here. This guy needs to be close to people, and you're way ahead of him. Your ADC is nowhere to be found, but that's been the entire game, so you should be back here with this guy, or in this case, because you were on this side of, either this side of the jungle, you should stay, back here. You can be in front of this guy by a little bit, like right up here, but as soon as you pass this little line, this little line where this ridge goes, Triss is gonna walk you back down in, and she's gonna auto attack you the whole way, because she does this because if she walks here, you have to walk this way to survive, because if you walk this way, the team's just gonna collapse on you and Soraka, right? Like, they've zoned you completely off of the fight, and they can just fight these guys. If you stay back here, you can just throw Qs out, you can W people, you can shield people, you can do what you're meant to do. And then this exhaust, you don't need to exhaust Ahri when this guy is 17 and 5. I know you want to like get the kill on him, but at this point where everybody's already here, he's not gonna assassinate anybody. This guy is the high value target. And exactly that happens. She walks you back because she has to. You have to zone you, so you can't shield your guy here. And then chaos ensues. After that, you do exactly what you should have done the whole time, what you should do every time. You sit back here, throw out some Qs to help your guy get some kills, you put down your W, you're shielding people, everything is on cooldown. That's how it should be. When you're in a team fight, you should just be throwing these out as fast as you can. You help this guy. This ult is fine. Even though you only get one person, this is all that's left. Q him so you can kite him. And you play the whole fight perfect after you make like this catastrophic mistake of coming up here. If you don't do that, you guys don't lose anything bad in this, but if you don't do that, Triss is still kind of like up here, Ahri just walks up here, you have two separate teams that they have, right? They're on Baron, and they're up here. Yi is gonna use the blast cone to jump over, and Alawi's gonna jump on Triss up here and Ahri, and you guys kill them before anything even happens. But instead, you get Zonios, and you get kind of lucky that you guys win the fight, because Alawi is a team called Monster. I probably mentioned it in the other one too. Moby Boots is generally not going to get you any sort of advantage at this level.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Here, dragon is up. You don't have to do it, but I would run again. I would on your way up here, because you're not going to be able to fight or anything. I would come through here and throw a ward over here. Put some wards in jungle as you go up. And now you're going to help this guy. I think you still try to help him even though you turned around. On your way over, you should be putting wards down. You should stop right here. Even this is kind of far up. And just Q this guy. I think you can kill this guy, but you should stop right here. You have no business getting any closer. After you do this, This is everything that you have to fight with, right? So just as soon as you send the Q out, just walk back this way. Walk back into the jungle. Even at this point, don't stick around. You give the guy a shield, you don't have to stop for that. Just walk away. And then they chase you down.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Team here, it's fine. Turn this down. Everything you do here is good. You know, you stand back, you hit the Qs from range, W, shield people. This is good. You know, all of them are dead. There's nothing that can happen, like nothing bad that can happen to you. After you guys get this, you stick around, and there's nothing left to do. They're all gonna respawn. You're not gonna get any more towers, so it's time to leave. I know there are no objectives up, but Ash, or no jungle objectives up, but Ash is pushing this tower. Go help her with that. You know, get some wards in the jungle. But instead, all of you kind of just stick around here. I think you want to kill these guys as they come out, but you know, they just respawn and bot items and all that stuff. Like, you don't win here. And then obviously you guys die. Ash gets the inhib. And now, again, I think you should be warding and going through the jungle. You guys are gonna fight here. You don't have numbers. Yi goes kind of crazy. At this point, when you see this third guy, you should leave. You should be pinging your Soraka off and just leave. And then this guy just goes crazy. And you have vision of this guy, but you still step up because you want to save him, you want to make a difference here, but it's too late. Yeah. Just let him walk away. Even if you get him, right? Even if you get a couple of them, you're not going to kill this guy, and they're just going to clear the wave. You can't push the tower down. There's nothing to get. Here they're doing Baron again. Or they're going up to Baron. I don't know if they're actually doing it. You're kind of walking around. If you're gonna walk around and not do much, at least ward. Now they're doing Dragon. At this point, you know, you know, you can see on the minimap that these guys are up here, and there's 2 people on Baron, and you know it's only 2 people because this guy is fighting 3. So you do the right thing and you go up and you try to push him off Baron. You get kind of close a couple times. Even this is kind of close. You don't really need to get, you know, you don't really need to. This is, if he Qs, he's probably in range of like Qing you. And then you ult, and that's good. And, you know, unfortunately they get away because that's just how Morgana ult works. After this, you have no vision of any of this. Your guy died. You're fighting at Baron. You should throw down a ward. Even though there's already one here, I would put one in the pit, or you don't have a control ward. So yeah, I would put a ward in the Baron pit and just leave. You know, you get jumped on and blown up. And in that situation, you feel like there's nothing you could do, but the reality is you are totally disrespecting the enemy team by coming up, like right into somewhere where you don't have vision that is supposed to be their part of the map. It's kind of like if you play, if you follow basketball or whatever, you know, they're gonna have, Golden State's not gonna have Steph Curry defending LeBron James. That would be a total disrespect of his game, and that's exactly what you're doing here. You're totally disrespecting like their control of the map. And then, you know, that guy dies too. Obviously nothing you can do about that. They get Baron, then you guys got a dragon, and something tragic happens. Right. He smites dragon with like 3,000 health left, and then Nasus just steals it. And then you kind of just get blown up. You were doing alright when you came in here. Like right here, you're doing not bad. You throw down the W, and you miss the Q. Now there's nothing you can do. You could step up here and ult. I don't know if you have Zhonya's on cooldown or... Okay, it shows it on cooldown. I don't know if it actually is or not, but... So there's nothing you can do here. You can't walk in and ult. And this would be a pretty good spot, right? You could zone these guys off, guarantee your team needs 2 kills, and then you guys have advantage of the fight. But you can't do that because you don't have your ult. I mean, you don't have Zhonya's. And instead you just walk in and they CC you and you get killed. You guys end up coming out on top anyway. Just, you know, not through anything that you did, obviously. And plus, like, let's say you don't walk up here. You miss your stuff and you don't walk up and you just walk back. Then the enemy team has to make a decision too, right? Like Triss has to either follow you, the other, whoever else is there, Ari has to follow you, or, you know, or they collapse down on these guys, and 3 or 4, I think if you have 40% CDR, yeah, 45% CDR at this point, the Q is, I don't know if that's counting with the CDR or not, but I think it's like a 4 or 5 second cooldown at this point. So you just hit them, you know, a couple seconds later. Like you walk back, they move up, your team's fighting again, and then you Q and W them again, and you put a shield on somebody. But instead you died, and you just got lucky that your team carried these, killed these guys as they were leaving. This is fine, but again, you should be warding the jungle as you're kind of up there. You QW and walk away, which is exactly what you should do every time. You know, here you step into the cage, unfortunately. Try to shield him. You do what you can here, but he's just dead. And then you're dead too. And I think Nasus kind of takes over the game from here. Clearing waves, that's good. Your walking around the jungle again without warding. So this is good, but you get way too close. I know that you know he's gonna die, but he can still, I don't know which abilities are what, but he can do like his Q and his E on you. And then here you play this good too, right? You stand back, you walk up into the cage. I don't think you meant to do that. I don't know, maybe you did mean to do that. But before you walked into the cage, it's fine. Everything is good. You're queuing people, you W, you E. You don't have a huge impact as Morgana on these team fights outside of your Q. And then you ult when your team gets jumped on. And I think that's the end of the game. Oh yeah. Nasus just face tanks everything. That's it. Yeah, so, I mean, between the two games, I would say in lane, it's not bad to be aggressive and throw out your Qs as much, you know, as to do it often, but you have to realize that that missing the Q is not zero cost. You lose a lot of threat when you don't have that, and then you should ward more. You should ward way more. Make sure to get the red trinket. This is unacceptable that everybody in the game has a higher warding score than you. Well, everybody on your team. And then in team fights, let somebody else be the front line. I know that it's hard to let somebody else be the decision maker, but when you queue up for support, you've already conceded that, you can ping people and try to get people to do things that you want them to do, but when you queue for support, a ranged support, you're giving your teammates the control for engage and disengage and that kind of stuff, right? You can get picks, but you're not gonna engage the fight. Really, nobody on your team is gonna engage a fight, but yeah. So play safer. It's okay to let people die. If you have any risk of dying by saving them, it's generally not worth it. If you're walking through the jungle towards something, throw down wards. If you don't know what to do, if you're in a position in the game and you feel like there's nothing for you to get, go in the jungle and throw down wards. For whichever objective is going to be up next, for Baron or Dragon. Get control wards. Control wards are always better than whatever 450 gold item you get. Whether it's, I don't know what they are. Whether it's like the ability power book or the magic resist or the armor, the cloth armor, and any of that stuff. The only item under 500 gold that's worth getting over control wards is boots, and you'll need one of those. So control wards, make sure you lay down your regular wards, get the red trinket, the oracle lens, and clear other people's wards. You can go Moby boots, but I wouldn't. I don't on anybody. Very rarely. Only if I know I'm gonna be stomping everybody. I think that's it without being too nitpicky about small things. The missed skill shots, you'll get that. It just comes with practice. Everybody misses skill shots. Yeah, I think that's it.